Yes, it says that I am live. Like Memorex. Just like Memorex. Let me get my chat. I wonder who is going to be in here first. I see no concurrent viewers yet, but there is bound to be one person first. There's bound to be, I tell you. Wonder if I could pull my pop out. Who's going to? Oh, I see one concurrent viewer. And guess what? Who can it be? It's Robert Reap again. Oh, Robert Reap. Look at you go. 2 times in a row. And would you just look at it? Would you just look at the side of it? Both sides. Look at the top. Look at that fucking head. Would you? Would you just look at it? Isn't it horrifically beautiful? Congratulations, Robert Reap. You are the only one seeing me for the first time. Jagoff Jack, good to see you. Joe Black is in here, and Tim Peden is in here. Creole, that's my Cajun, no, that's the Creole buddy of mine down there in Louisiana. The other buddy of mine down there. I've got a lot of buddies down in Louisiana. Yeah, we got a fun show tonight. Yeah, of course, we got the standard. There's Cheetah. He's beautiful. Spot. And the chimp back there at the bar. How are you doing, Chimp-o Chimp? Chimp. That's all his name is Chimp. Just Chimp. And there's old Yeller. That's Yeller over there by the door. A female buddy. That's right, Creole. You're a female buddy of mine. Female buddy of mine. Yes. Anybody want a drink? Just ask the Chimp. Just ask Karen. Karen, how are you doing, Karen? Are you not? Karen's not a bitch today. Karen is very, very happy today. Go on, Karen. Where's Perfect Paws? There's Perfect Paws. How are you doing, Perfect Paws? Good. I'm glad. And of course, that's Al, the monkey. His name is Al. That is Al. Hi, Al. Al the monkey. All right, we got to get down to business. But there's a problem. There's a major problem in the bunkhole. Can anybody guess what the problem is in the bunkhole? It's a major, major problem. Got your moonshine. That's right, Creole. But can anybody guess what the problem is in the bunkhole? The problem is I got cats everywhere. I got cats everywhere, but they don't do a fucking thing but lay around. Look at them. You got cops in there? No, I don't got cops. They don't know where I'm at. But good guess. The internet is freezing? No, I don't have internet freezing problems. I got more. Let me give you a guess. It's an infestation. It's John D. Nicola is in the bunkhole. Yeah, I got an infestation. It's terrible. But the problem is, the only time they seem to stir. Not enough weed. No, Puff Dog keeps me supplied. Jack off, Jack. Have you not been to the horticulture room? No, I have an infestation problems. Yours brought you a bird? Can I use your cat? Jack off, Jack, please, can I use your cat? Because every time I play the Bakelite Boys, our sponsor, I got to get to the sponsors of the show. You know what I mean? I got to get paid. But every time The Bakelite Boys is played. I said every time the Bakelite Boys is played,
13, the Bakelite Boys. No,
I have a problem. Infestation.
He only took 2 tires.
Randy knows.
I have a squirrel infestation.
Down at the county line.
They just won't
Racetrack
go away.
Pure moonshine. Where come the teeth on life.
Dancing
so wide.
squirrels.
Them race girls are on my mind. Them race
Yes,
girls are mighty
they
fine.
love
Them
the
race
Bakelite
girls at the
Boys.
County line.
These dancing squirrels. It's a family of them.
Back of the pack and down the lap with no one on my side.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Get
grab
'em.
that chicken flag. I've got to
Get
clear
them,
that
Perfect
mess.
Paws. Eat them
I'm
up.
slamming the pedal down to the middle and
Karen,
found another gear.
There's a squirrel right in front of you, shaking his tail at you.
I said, vroom, vroom, vroom.
But there's one right there on the table. Just gobble it up. But now, we got squirrels coming, dancing, and going. What's next? Infestation of squirrels? That can't be good. What's next? Oh no. They even got the mice is dancing.
I cleared the pack and they never looked back.
What the fuck?
Like a lucky dog, I caught that caution.
Squirrels love the Bakelite Boys, and so does the Macy's.
I'll satisfy that gasoline. Them race girls were cheering me on. A redhead, brunette, dirty blonde. Race girls are mighty fine. Champagne at the finish
I
line.
can't get rid of them as soon as I start playing the Bakelite Boys.
For the cash. We do it for the racing girls, even if we crash. Our race days got started. Our race days will bloom. Lord, don't let our race days go.
Get 'em,
crash,
Spot.
bang, boom.
There's a
I said,
mouse right on the monkey's
vroom,
head.
vroom. Lord, slide sideways.
Boom, 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 and a crash, bang, boom. Yes. Squeeze that pig, Clyde.
I'll
belt it out, Clyde.
Man, I'm really in my stride. Trunk full of whiskey and a 6-gun on my side. My race days got started. My race days will bloom. Lord, don't let our race days go crash, bang, boom. I said, boom, boom, boom. Lord, slide sideways.
The squirrels are loving them. They can't get enough of the Bakelite Boys. They especially love when Clyde plays the harmonica. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go.
We love y'all.
Did somebody say it was cutting out? Testing 1, 2, 3. Is my microphone all right? It must have been all the squirrels. I'm telling you. The squirrels. Must be Tugga. Is my microphone all right? Or is it just a glitchy video? All right, see you later, Spot. Perfect pause. Good? Good now? It must have been my CPU usage. You know? See you later, Yeller. Later. Okay, but first we got to get the next sponsor of the show. Are you You feeling frisky?
What's this right here? That's your penis. All right.
Do you want to feel like you just got done being groped by a cop?
Okay, what's this right here? Okay, what's this right here? That's your penis. All right.
Well, does Tugga Inc. have a cocky companion for you? Robocop at patmedown.com. He is as aggressive or passive as you like. Inspect Robocop at patmedown.com. The pursuit is over for that belligerent Sally you've been chasing after. Inspect Robocop at patmedown.com. Detain your very own personal police shakedown dummy today. Never fear again a long prison term. Don't jerk yourself around. Get yourself a Robocop at patmedown.com. Discover a feisty new comrade to serve long periods of time with. Inspect Robocop at patmedown.com. All accessories are not included. Robocop. Phil, a satisfied customer of California, says he's tired of being run through by the penal code. When he travels, he takes Robocop to ride in the passenger seat to access the HOV lane.
Oh, please, don't shoot me. Oh, please, my hands are up. Oh, please, don't shoot me, please. Oh, you shot me.
Inspect Robocop at patmedown.com.
Yes, I love you. Love you.
Yes, get your Robocop right now. Gotta get that Robocop. If you're lonely for Christmas, get that Robocop. He and she and it. Did you notice? The male Robocop, I dressed in a skirt. It's extra sexy that way with the gun up underneath. Yes, I put the gun up, not down. Never put a gun down near your neck. You know, always point it up to your head. All right, get going, squirrel. Shoo. Mouse, you got to go. All right. Here we go. We're getting the fuck out of here. All right, we're out of here. We're going to the horticulture room, of course, because I've got to meet and greet all of you, Jack Up Jack. Creole already got her moonshine on. John D. Nicola, I don't know what you partake in, but if you partake in anything, I will smoke doobie, right? Right, Puff?
Smoke weed every day.
Ohio, Steve, good to see you. We're in the horticulture room. Yes, we are in the horticulture room with Pup Dag, a dog, and Bill, and Elon. Good to see you, Elon. You know what it is? It is Peg's place, and it is always 420 in Peg's place. So this is like the bunkhole, but this is specifically Peg's place. It's always down under 420. Always. So go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, if you really want to, just I'm just going to reach over here. Just going to reach back over here. Oh, right past that pole. Fuck it. Woo! Pup dog. Holy shit. Damn, Pup. That's some good shit, Pup. I think I'm going to roll that up now. Or get in my pipe. So go ahead. Go ahead, Pup. You go ahead and dance. Charles? Go ahead. All you have to do is hit it. Oh, Pup. Pup, that's some good stuff. Keep a couple bags of that for me, Pup. Keep a couple bags of that stuff right there hidden for me. Thanks. Thanks, Pup. Yeah, them 2 bags will do. Because that's some really good shit, Howard Clegg. Let me take another hit of it. Take another hit of it. Yep. 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 Just as I thought, Puff. It's a real good one. That's a real good strain, Puff. I don't know what you want to call it. You could fill me in later.
The weed.
Yeah. It's the weed. The wacky tobacco. Oh, the marijuana. I mean, Pup does grow a whole bunch of other things around here, you know, tomatoes and potatoes and all kinds of vegetables. It isn't like Puff just toils away at the weed.
Good evening, everyone. Our top story: marijuana is now legal. Legal in Quahog.
Yes, it's now legal. Thank you, Puff, for being here. One more hit, and we're gonna be out of here. Thanks, Pup. Again, keep them 2 bags for me. Just 2 bags so that strain. You can smoke the rest of it yourself, Pup. All right, see ya. We're out of here. And guess where we're going? Oh. Everybody in the chat knows what to do. We are going to PP13, the most stinky, slimy, scummy, putrid place on the planet. PP13. Pig Precinct 13. Step over that, Howard Clegg. Step over that right there. There's a big one. Puddle right there. Jack up, Jack. You smeared it all over Ohio Steve. Ohio Steve, you should not feel happy about that. You should not feel happy about Jack up, Jack on purpose. Stepping in that sludge. Smeared it all over you. And he's laughing right now. Like a little school child stepping in a puddle of mud. But that's toxic waste. You're going to be infected for years. Unless you take immediate medical attention. Seek immediate medical attention. Jack, that wasn't right. Jokester. Hey, Steve. My buddy Steve is here. How you doing, Steve? Years. 20 years? So, Steve, how you been, buddy? Oh, you want, what's that? Steve, why are you okay, get off camera, Steve, and I'll give you a hit or two, okay? Jeez, Steve. Where's your buddy Dweeb? Dweeb? Oh, that's your brother, your twin brother Dweeb. He's still in jail? Easy on it, Steve. Easy on it, my man. There's the PP13 logo. Be easy with it, Steve. Please, you know. You're gonna hurt yourself taking a big hit like that. What's that? You want another one? Oh shit. Hey, I guess you didn't hurt yourself. Get off camera, Steve. There you go. Take that. Here's the lighter. Oh, Steve, isn't it great? Smoking weed and PP13 police department. And isn't it lovely, Steve? Steve? Okay. Yes, Ohio Steve said that hurt, Jack. I think there's a fight brewing. All right, we're in PP13 for a reason, because PP13 is, last few shows, I've been pretty nice on PP13. I haven't been judging PP13. I haven't been watching. I've been nice to them. Can you believe it? Yes, I've been real nice to the police the last couple shows. And you people are like, what the fuck is happening to Tugga? Is he getting soft? Is he becoming a bootlicker? Yes, I have become a bootlicker. No, I have not become a bootlicker. But yes, he puffed, and passed. Steve knows marijuana etiquette. Okay. So people think that I know you've been wondering what the fuck has happened with him. Well, let me tell you, I still have PP13 for a reason. Uh-oh. Barry, open up the doors. Barry, why are you closing the doors on me, Barry? Okay, thank you, Barry. How are you doing, Barry? Barry, he pays close attention here in PP13. Right, Steve? Barry dances to his own tune. Hey, Barry, take them headsets out, earbuds out of your... Barry, take them earbuds out of your... Oh, fuck it. Let him do what he's doing. All right. There is a reason. Of course, there was a reason last shows to be kind of easy on the cops, because Karen's gotten away. Pretty ones, too. But now we're back to the standard operating procedure. Here we go.
You live in Tempe?
Yeah,
Cool,
I got
man.
a job over here at on Scottsdale and Camelback.
I'll start it again.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Where you headed?
Where am I headed?
Yeah.
I live in Tempe.
You live in Tempe?
Yeah,
Cool,
I got
man.
a job over here at on Scottsdale and Camelback. No, it's not where I'm going. I'm going home. I
Okay.
gotta get changed because I got another job in Phoenix.
Okay.
Did I break a law?
You live in Tempe?
I live in Tempe.
Okay. What's with
Hold
the
on.
attitude, man?
I'm in a hurry, and I don't know. I don't break. I'm a very, very cautious, good driver.
Okay.
I saw you when I made my U-turn.
Right.
I know I didn't break any laws, so I'm curious of why
you know that you didn't break any laws? So are you saying that I'm violating your rights right now?
I haven't had a traffic ticket in a very long time.
Okay.
I'm a very good driver.
Okay.
So what's up?
Do you just not like the police or what?
Look, sir, I don't have time for this. I have to go home. I have to get changed. I have a shift that starts at 8 o'clock.
Well, that's going to take you longer if you keep the attitude.
Well, I don't have an attitude. Do you want to tell me what you need?
Yeah, I need your license, registration, proof of insurance. I also need to know if there's any guns or knives in the
I
car.
don't have any guns. I'm an armed guard, but I don't have my gun with me.
Okay.
I'm a security guard. There's some condominiums right behind there. It's called
Is that where you do security?
yeah. So
Okay.
I had a key fob. And I took it last night. I took it home.
Okay.
I did a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift, and I went home with it, and I was so tired, and I had to go to Phoenix because my TV broke, so I had to go to my storage.
Okay.
And I had to unload all my stuff in there, and I got my stuff over here. So you see, I had to take it back over here. So
Okay.
the car's registered under my mom's name,
Okay.
and so.
So you're a security guard, but you have an attitude towards the police, but you have this
I don't know what
almost
you're
the
talking
same
about
job as we
attitude.
do.
You better lose your attitude, okay?
Okay.
I don't even.
Go ahead
know
and
what
step
you're
out of the car.
You don't have a right to open.
Go
up
ahead
the
and
door.
step out of the car.
This is private property.
Go ahead and step out.
Do not touch me.
Get out of the car.
Do not touch me.
Get out of the car.
Do
I'm gonna
not
rip
touch
you out of the car.
Do not touch me. Hey!
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right
I
now.
haven't done anything.
Get out. Are you serious?
Get out of the car.
I haven't done anything.
Car right now. I'm gonna hurt you if you don't get out of the car right now. What the f*** are you doing? Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right now.
Kidding me? Oh my God!
Get on the ground right
I'm
now.
not doing
You
anything.
get on the ground right
I'm not
now.
doing anything.
Get out of the
Hey!
ground and get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
On the ground right now.
doing
Get
anything.
out of the
Hey!
ground and get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
At this point, Steve? At this point, Steve, the officer fucked up. Look at the fucking He-Man, WEF, WWF, wrestling, suplex, dropping them. Wait for it. What is going on here? What do we see here, Steve? This is who the fuck is this guy? Shall I continue? All right, I will continue.
Hey, don't growl right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't fight. I got the insurance right
You
here.
said you want to see it again?
Stop resisting right now. Hey, don't growl right now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now.
Kidding me? Oh my God!
Get on the ground right now.
I'm not doing anything.
Get on the ground right now.
I'm not doing anything.
Get out of the ground. Get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
Hey, don't growl right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't fight. I got the insurance right here.
Stop fighting. Stop resisting right now. Stop resisting.
You're hurting me. I don't got nothing in my hand.
I'm going to tase you.
Don't tase me.
Stop resisting.
Dude, I don't have any weapons.
Stop
I don't have
resisting.
anything. Ow! Ow!
Stop resisting, man.
Ow! Ow! Help! Help!
Stop resisting.
Help! Help! Help!
Stop resisting.
Help! Help! Help!
Put your hands behind your back.
Help! Help! You're hurting me!
Stop resisting, man.
You're hurting me! Help
Put your hands behind your
me!
back.
Help me!
Got blood.
Help me! Help me! Help! Help! Help me! Help me!
Stop. Release your hands.
Help! I'm not doing
Stop
anything!
resisting.
I didn't do anything! You attacked me!
Stop resisting right now.
You attacked me!
Calm down.
You attacked me! That hurts! They're hurting my ankles! You're on my legs! Help me!
Calm down.
Help me! You're hurting me! Please stop hurting me! You're hurting my legs! You're hurting my legs! Please stop hurting me!
4035.
Please.
We have one detained.
Stop hurting me!
Roll fire for
Please stop hurting me!
face laceration, and you can unrestrict.
Please stop hurting me!
Why are you fighting with me?
Ow! Ow! He's hurting my
Okay, roll him
ankle!
over.
You're hurting my ankle!
You stop yelling. Stop kicking him.
Oh my God! I cannot believe you did this to me! I live in Tempe!
You were fighting with me, bro.
No one's I'm in my car! Who's fighting?
You wouldn't get out when I asked you to.
You don't have a reason to take me out of my car!
You said you usually carry a gun with you. You started.
You're
breaking
lying!
around.
I didn't say I said I am a security guard.
That's an armed security guard.
No, I said I do own it. You said, do you have a weapon? I said I do own
And then
a
you
gun.
won't get out of the car and you're
Sir,
reaching around.
sir, I'm not getting no. You're
My-
wrong.
my safety's
You're lying.
number one, man.
You're lying. I hope you have your video camera running.
It is.
I'm gonna charge you.
My safety.
Please don't hurt my ankle, sir.
4035.
Please don't hurt
We're
my
update location Scottsdale, Maine.
Please, sir, don't hurt my ankle.
No one's hurting your ankles.
My left, you're putting pressure on my
Okay,
ankles.
I'm gonna release it. Are you gonna keep on
No,
fighting?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Help me! Help!
You good? Yeah. What's up, man?
What's up?
Where you headed?
Where am I headed?
Yeah.
All right. Wasn't that fun, Steve? Wasn't that fun? We're back to PP13 just as normal. What'd you think about that one? Piss you off a little bit? Dweeb? Hey, Dweeb, what'd you think about that, Dweeb? That was pretty fucked up, wasn't it? That's what happened to you? Is that why you're in jail? Just the same thing? They dropped you on your head? He suplexed you. I wonder if that fucking cop learned that in a self-defense class at the academy. Let's watch it one more time, shall we? I mean, I mean, just the body slam. Let me get it back. Let me get it back up here, Steve. Let's both watch it together. Let's both watch this together, Steve, and we'll grade it. We'll give it a grade on best suplex, 1 to 10 ever.
Get out of the car.
Do not touch me.
Get out of the car.
Do
I'm
not
gonna rip
touch
you out of the car.
Do not touch me. Hey!
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right now. I haven't done anything. Get out. Are you serious?
Get out of the car.
I haven't done anything.
Stop resisting.
Car right now. I'm gonna hurt you if you don't get out of the
You're
car
gonna hurt
right
you.
now. What the f*** is another doing? Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right now. Kidding me? Oh my God! Get on the ground right now! I'm not doing anything! Get on the ground right now! I'm not doing anything! Get out of the ground and get on the ground!
Pick him up! Pick him up! Body slam him! Yes!
Hey.
Get on the ground right now!
Yes!
That's not cool, brother.
Hook
You're
that
following with
motherfucker
us.
up!
I didn't fight!
Yes!
I got the insurance right
Yes!
here!
Stop fighting. Stop resisting right now.
Hurting me.
Stop resisting.
You're hurting me! I got nothing to
Stop
do.
resisting, sir! Jeez Louise!
Stop resisting.
Dude, I don't have any weapons!
Stop
I don't have
resisting.
anything. Ow! Ow!
Stop resisting, man.
Ow! Ow!
Release
Help!
up.
Help!
Stop
Help!
resisting.
Help! Help! Help!
Stop resisting.
Help! 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 Behind your back! Help! Help! You're hurting me!
Stop resisting,
Help!
man.
You're hurting me! Help! Put your hands behind your back!
Grade it, Steve. What? You only give that a 4? Are you crazy, Steve? A 4? You said what? Gorilla Monsoon did it better? Oh, come on. Gorilla Monsoon was pretty cool, but, what about the Hulk? The Hulk did that fucking, pick him up and fucking slam him, didn't he? In between his legs, right? The head? The atomic drop or whatever? I mean, a 4? Gorilla Monsoon? Who even knows about Gorilla Monsoon, Steve? Damn. I mean, you go back to Bruno St. Martino and them guys? Is that what you said, Steve? The old school guys. The Power Driver, right, Jack off Jack. You must be one of them people that watch still today. Okay. I mean, that was pretty brutal. And it kind of pisses you off, doesn't it? It kind of pisses you off. And, we often say to ourselves, that dirty, rotten motherfucking cop, right? Right, Steve? That dirty fucking bastard. That cocksucking motherfucker, right? Why did he need to do that? We want to swear at these fucking people, right? They deserve it. Even whenever they're being passive-aggressive, being nice, just to be nice, but otherwise they want to fuck you up, just like this. A piece of shit is your go-to Jack off Jack, and you yell it at him too, don't you? Yes, is yelling for help resisting, Creole? That is definitely resisting. Definitely resisting. So, we get pissed off. And we never, ever, ever have any resolution to it. You say, that was so fucking bad. That's definitely a lawsuit, right? Is that a lawsuit? Do you think that's a lawsuit, Steve? What about you, dweeb? Lawsuit? You think so? Well, let's get out of here and I'll show you. Steve, you can stay behind with your brother. You take care of the jail because fucking Barry ain't doing shit. Okay? So take care of the jail. Take care of PP-13. And let's go ahead and go to the law library. The law library. One of my most favorite places to be of all. Look how beautiful my law library is. And it stretches time in memoriam. Over there is Egyptian hieroglyphics. And as a matter of fact, I just got some, okay, it goes from formerly Egyptian, but I got some new stuff for you. Prior to Egyptian, did you know that prior to Egyptian hieroglyphics that they have found certain languages and caves from a prehistoric man? Like directions on what animals come and go and what cycles. And they're little scratches, right, or circles and dots, they're little dots right below the animal on these cave art depictions of animals and stuff. Well, they didn't do it just because they wanted to be fucking girly and fucking be an artist. No, they did it because they needed to survive. So they would draw an animal and they would put little dots on the bottom of it, right at the bottom, off of the animal, but on the wall. They would also put dashes and other things that they haven't figured out yet. So, I surmise that some of this language is law. So I got it right over there, before Egyptian hieroglyphic law. And before Mesopotamian Sanskrit that was written down. On tablet. Right there. Right past hieroglyphic. And then you go all the way around. That all of this world history from every civilization ever known. Magna Carta. And then the Constitution right here. The last thing. Because it's ever evolving. It's ever evolving. It'll never end. All right. So, what am I talking about? Why are we in the law library after we were in PP-13 watching a man being body slammed? Ah, shit. I shouldn't have quit that. We are here, and I'll find it here in a second. We are here because of this. Andres Dominguez, this is the first time I'm reading this. I have not read this at all. I just found out about this case today. So all I know is I haven't read this. Okay? I have to go get something. Okay? I have to go get the video player back because I quit it. So let me go back to, I have to get this. I have to get that video back. I know exactly where it's at. Videos. We go to there we go. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Lori Davis. Sudden reach into the dark, cluttered interior of his car, away from the officer.
I'll restart it.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Lori Davis. May it please the court. I represent Officers Kohler and McKelly in the city of Scottsdale in this matter. I'd also like to reserve 5 minutes of my time for rebuttal. Mr. Dominguez reached. Plaintiff admits he reached, and it's on the video. Plaintiff's sudden reach into the dark, cluttered interior of his car, away from the officer, is what sets this case apart from all others cited by the plaintiff in the court below. No force was used before the reach. The reach precipitated the force. And it was in that tense moment after the seventh command and warning to get out of the car under the totality of the circumstances known to the officer at the time that the reach occurred. Ninth Circuit case from 2009, Ramirez versus City of Buena Park, instructs officers that sudden movements or attempts to reach for an object not immediately identifiable supports the reasonable belief of an officer that the suspect is armed and dangerous.
So counsel, the district court said, I think it's ER 15, but page 13 of the district court's order, defendants claim Kohler believed Dominguez posed a threat to officer safety. Defendants, however, failed to point to objective facts in the record that substantiate Kohler's beliefs or concern. Is it your view that the video, what you've just described as the reach, that's what you rely on for us to determine that the district court just simply as a matter of law got this wrong?
Your Honor, I believe it's the totality of the circumstances. I think you start with the fact that traffic stops are inherently dangerous. We know that 2,000 officers are assaulted and 10 officers are killed each year feloniously with weapons in traffic-related pursuits. In Michigan versus Long, United States Supreme Court opinion affirms that fact, that they're inherently dangerous. And the reason for that is because a weapon can be hidden in a car in the tight compartments under the seat, in between the seats at any point. In this particular circumstance, the tensions had risen, and it's very clear from the video, to the point where Mr. Dominguez said, you'd better lose your attitude.
Well, I watched the video, and I've got to say, it's not hard for me to understand how a jury conclude that it was your client who was the instigator, your client who upped the ante, your client who injected that pressure. It was your client that asked the person who had stopped for license and registration, inherently expecting him to be reaching for things. So I'm not so sure the simple fact that at some point he reached for something else, well, that trumps everything else. You're allowed to apply what seemed to be pretty dramatic force, up to and including a body slam, well after there was any risk of somebody reaching into the next seat. So it seems to me basically that your characterization depends upon your acceptance of, or the jury's acceptance of your view of the facts. And if the jury could reasonably conclude to the contrary, how is this a summary judgment?
The jury could not reasonably conclude to the contrary. Again, we have a tense situation. I think.
Why not?
The primary problem here, Your Honor, is we have admitted facts that establish reasonableness when viewed from the officer's perspective.
Well, so, let's go through the facts. Which facts do you tell us are enough and undisputed to establish reasonableness?
The reach itself, and it was a fast.
So we got the reach.
Okay.
Let's check off. What else is there?
All right, the fact that he said he's an armed guard, but he doesn't have his gun with him. What reasonable officer is going to believe he doesn't have his gun until he's been patted down?
That pursued the security guard angle and kept insisting, how can you be hostile to the police if you're a security guard? There was no suggestion that he was armed, and there was nothing said by the individual that suggested he was looking to impose any risk or danger or threatening the officer in any way.
At the point that that force was applied, which is the point the court must look at, that's the point where the threat occurred. I will agree with the court.
You there. At the time of the body slam, exactly what threat was being posed?
The same threat that was posed before. The threat was not contained until Mr. Dominguez had been out of the car and handcuffed, searched. He had not been searched. The vehicle had not been searched. MIMS allows this officer.
You're answering broadly. At the time of the body slam, what was the threat?
The threat was he was still struggling with the officer. The officer was in the act. It's a fluent act of the officer getting him out of the vehicle and onto the ground so they can get him in handcuffs. At no point did Mr. Dominguez give the officer any indicia of compliance. He ignored every single comment, every single command by the officer. The officer had absolutely every right to order him out of the car and for him to be out of the car.
When you say non-compliant, ignored every command, isn't that looking at the facts in the light most favorable to your client? I mean, we've all watched the video, and it struck me that while nobody in this video is behaving entirely sensibly, in the light most favorable to the driver, it appears that he was trying to comply with giving them identification. He was trying to comply with ratcheting things down. Why should we look at it in the light most favorable to your client in terms of whether he was complying or not complying? Why shouldn't we just look at the video and look at it in the light most favorable to the driver?
The Supreme Court requires us to look at, the court to look at the facts, the admitted facts from a reasonable officer's perspective.
Right, but that's not the same as in the light most favorable to your client.
Your Honor, we have, at the point that he is ordered out, he orders Mr. Dominguez out of the vehicle 7 times, and on the 7th time in the warning, get out or I'm going to rip you out of the car.
Isn't he also standing in front of the door, not allowing the driver to get out of the car while he's ordering him out of the car?
Judge Desai, I believe that it is I think is a red herring for the point of the use of force. There was no force used. He's ordering him out of the car. Plaintiff is leaning back, much like you or I might do if we drop our cell phone in our car. But what is he leaning back for? Is he leaning back from a reasonable officer's perspective to gain access to something, to gain a weapon? And then when he reaches suddenly back, is the officer not reasonable in perceiving that to be an imminent threat? And that's the point that force is used, regardless of whether he could get out of the car or not. At that point, Mr. Dominguez was a passive resistor until the point that he chose to make that sudden, unexpected reach, which was different from every other fidget or looking for papers. The tensions had risen at that point, and he unexpectedly reached into the dark interior compartment of that car.
Oh, it wasn't all that dark because the other officer was on the other side shining his flashlight in that direction.
There's no evidence, Judge Clifton, that Officer Kohler saw anything that the flashlight was shined upon. And if it did.
I'm not saying what he saw. I'm saying it wasn't all that dark. You're trying to emphasize it's dark, and I'm saying, gee, a flashlight is going through with the officer on the other side. So, again, it seems to me that your argument depends on a certain characterization of the facts, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. If the facts are disputed, if there's a genuine issue of material fact, which there appears to be, then summary judgment doesn't appear appropriate. Now, if you want to settle on the uncontested facts, that's fine, but you're not doing that. You're insisting, for example, sudden reach into a dark part of the car, and that is not uncontested. So tell me, based on uncontested facts, I accept the law that says we look from the perspective of the officer, but I also accept the law that says contested facts, we look from the non-movement's perspective. In this case, that's the plaintiff. So you've got to get us to facts that are not contested that establish a basis for qualified immunity. And all of your arguments so far seem to me to wander into the territory that requires us to accept facts that are not uncontested.
Mr. Dominguez reached into the car. We do not know from the officer's perspective, where was he reaching? Was he reaching under the seat, between the seats? If it was daylight, I mean, it makes it worse that it was dark and that the flashlight might intermittently be showing things. But the court has clearly recognized that weapons can be hidden anywhere, and this car was clearly cluttered. In addition, we have admitted facts. We have the reach. We have the active resistance that Matos defines, the clutching of the wheel, the bracing inside the car, and you see the ignored commands on the video. You see the continued resistance as he gets out of the car. And I will respectfully disagree with the district court that the video doesn't contradict Mr. Dominguez's story. It clearly does. And I'll refer the court to Officer McKelly's on-body camera video.
We've all watched the video. Mm-hmm. You can take that as a given. I got to say, the impression I came out of it, and we haven't conversed among ourselves, but the impression I came out didn't really corroborate the officer's description. And so a jury looking at that might reach the same kind of conclusion I reached, which is, the officer was the one that was instigating this problem. He didn't really seem threatened.
The officer did not ask Mr. Dominguez to reach. The officer reacted to the reach. The officer asked for his license and registration. He was expressing his suspicion with the story that's being given by Mr. Dominguez. And I think when you look at the moment of the reach, it is whether an objective officer would have reacted to that reach. Would an officer sit back and wait? Mullinex versus Luna tells them that he doesn't have to do that.
So, counsel, what the district court found at ER 16 is a reasonable jury could conclude that when taking the totality of the circumstances into account, Kohler unnecessarily created his own sense of urgency, and the potential threat of a weapon without more did not create an immediate danger that justified the use of substantial force. Do you think the district court's determination there was wrong as a matter of law?
I do, Your Honor. I do not believe there was substantial force issued. It was hands-on only force. No weapon was used. He had an absolute right to get him out of the car. You see him pulling, you see him pushing. You see, in response to the active resistance, which he knows he can't use his taser because Mattos told us he can't use his taser. And so in the face of active resistance. And so he's doing everything he can to get the man out of the car and onto the ground and into handcuffs so that he can safely search him, search the vehicle, and conduct his investigation. Every step of the way, Mr. Dominguez fought him. And every step of the way, the force was proportional to the threat posed by Mr. Dominguez. Reasonableness all the way. And not only that, Your Honor, clearly established. Where's the case? Where's the case that shows him what he should be doing? Where's it on squarely on all fours governing these facts? This was not a passive resistance situation. He reached into the interior of his vehicle away from the officer unexpectedly and suddenly, and Ramirez versus City of Buena Park tells us that that allows him to have a reasonable belief that the suspect is armed and dangerous.
Did you want to reserve the rest of your time?
I would like that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, and may it please the court. Jesse Showalter on behalf of plaintiff appellee Andres Dominguez. I think I've known Ms. Davis for a long time. I really respect her, and I feel like she's given me insight into what her jury arguments in this, her closing arguments in this case will be.
Let's look at the reach.
Yeah.
That's what she started with. That's the piece that does seem to be uncontested. Why couldn't the officer have reasonably perceived the situation at the time that your client reached to the other side of the car where Officer Kohler, I guess, could not see, and then resisted removing himself or didn't get out of the vehicle himself, but braced himself in such a way as to make it difficult to extract him from the vehicle? Why isn't that a sufficient basis for the officer to respond with the force that he used?
Well, I know this court is very familiar with the video and what it shows before the reach that Ms. Davis is focused on. And when I say video, I should say multiple videos, is that because both Kohler and McKelly show not just one reach, but multiple reaches. Throughout the time that Andy and Officer Kohler are having this conversation, you can see Andy reaching all over the interior of the vehicle. You can see him reaching into the glove box. There's a point on McKelly's video where you see that, in fact, Andy's reaching into his back pocket. This is all before the reach in question.
Officer Kohler can't see from the perspective of Officer McKelly, and that's why I'm focused on Officer Kohler, because he's the one that applied the force. And you're right. I mean, your client does reach, license, registration, and so forth, but as I'm trying to watch this, and because of the emphasis, I watched it several times, I'm trying to ask myself, well, what could Kohler have perceived? And he's not quite at the same place as the cameras, so you got to project a little bit. What could Officer Kohler have perceived when your client reached, which in your brief you describe as reaching, I think, for his phone, intending to record, but Kohler, of course, doesn't know what he's reaching for and doesn't know the intent is to record. So why couldn't the officer have been sufficiently concerned at that point to have applied the force to try to extract your client from the car, to which your client offered resistance?
Well, and my answer is to why a reasonable officer would not have perceived this reach as posing a threat is that there had already been multiple reaches, and a reasonable officer in a traffic stop situation knows reasonably that every single traffic stop situation is going to require him to ask the occupant of the car to reach for something.
Okay, so let's take that. What case is there that is not at a high level of generality, which puts the officer on notice that if there have been previous reaches, that basically he has to disregard any potential danger from a similar kind of reach? What is there that says initial reaches are different than a case with like one reach and the reaction is based on that one reach, other than at a high level of generality?
If qualified immunity requires that level of granularity and particularity, I think the court knows I don't have a case that says what you're saying.
But your argument is this isn't the one reach case where you're saying, it sounds like you're saying, oh, just one sudden reach. That's a different circumstance. And in that case, the officer can pull him out of the car, but with multiple reaches cannot. And isn't that the kind of situation where this Supreme Court has repeatedly told our court, you need something not at that, you need something more on point than you can't use unreasonable, unnecessary force?
No, because that's not what my argument is with respect to the reaches. My argument with respect to the reaches is that the jury can look at this video and say, Officer Kohler watched Andy reach multiple times and didn't perceive any danger from it. And a reasonable officer in this context would not have perceived any danger from it. And had Officer Kohler perceived a danger, had he actually been concerned that there was a weapon in the car, or had a reasonable officer been concerned that there was a weapon in the car, one of the instructions he would have given to the car occupant is, you know what, because we talked about a gun, I need you to keep your hands where I can see them. I need you to not make any sudden reaches, and I'm going to ask you to get out of the car, or anything along those lines.
And is there any case from the Supreme Court or our court at other than a high level of generality where that kind of detailed instruction is given to put the officer on notice that not saying those types of things is going to subject the officer to liability?
I don't think that's what qualified immunity requires, is that level of particularity. And the Supreme Court has repeatedly said that. And I think the cases I would point to are Hope v. Pelser, Taylor v. Riojas, and also, there's a Brousseau v. Haugen, in which the Supreme Court was not kind to the Ninth Circuit, but the Supreme Court noted that there are many cases in which Graham v. Connor put officers on notice of what the law is. And I understand that there are a set of cases in which there's more going on than what's going on here. The context of this case that puts it outside of all the cases that the city relies on starts at the beginning. And that is, Andy brought his car to a stop. He placed his car in park. He rolled down the window. He is submitting to police authority. And all the cases they cite are cases where that did not happen. And so, I think we have to look at it in that context. And in that context, there is a robust set of cases that put the officers on notice that using significant force against somebody who is complying violates the United States Constitution.
Would it have made a difference, in your view, to the qualified immunity analysis if instead of your client saying, but I don't have a gun with me even though I own one, your client had said nothing about the gun? Would that have made a difference to the qualified immunity analysis if he just hadn't said anything about whether he was carrying his weapon with him?
Well, so when you say the qualified immunity analysis, do you mean, does that change the analysis with respect to the first prong, which is whether there's a constitutional violation?
Either prong.
Because I think on the first, I'm not certain how it shakes out. If he had been difficult, I think if that were the case, then it becomes murkier. But here, you have no objective basis for Officer Kohler to believe that there is any weapon in the car. You have no objective basis for Officer Kohler to believe that Andy poses any kind of a threat, other than these weird statements Officer Kohler imagines, it seems, that Andy is somehow anti-government or anti-cop. And there's no basis for that. And throughout the pleadings, that's the argument they make, is that he was anti-government. It seems to be made up. And the same with the gun. Officers can't imagine a gun where there is not one.
Well, officers can reasonably be afraid of the uncertainties of traffic stops, and here, added to this, is the fact that your client admitted he owns a gun. So this is different than just some random motorist who has said nothing about owning a gun or not owning a gun. Isn't that a difference that's relevant?
I don't believe it is, because there's, I think, 300, there's more than 300, there's like something like 800 million guns in private hands in the United States of America. And in Arizona, which is a open carry, concealed carry, however you want to carry state, that argument means that they can use force, almost up to deadly force, in any traffic stop if anybody makes any sudden movement. And if that's the law, I mean...
Didn't the district court consider this exact fact when it conducted its analysis and cited to Young and Rice and saying that even if the officer believed that the statement that your client had a gun raised some concern about the officer's safety, they still had a responsibility to use alternative, less intrusive means to accomplish their goal, as opposed to moving directly to the excessive force that was used in this case?
That's correct. And I think the district court did a really good job of doing that analysis. The district court is very explicit about what it's doing. It did the Scott v. Harris analysis. It looked at the video. It compared the video to the statements that Andy made, and it said, Andy's statements about what happened do not clearly contradict this video. And it said, a reasonable jury can look at this in the light most favorable to Andy and find that this was a constitutional violation. And so, I think I'm very lucky in this case to have the district court's briefing, on that topic, and it really went through the law and it went through the facts. And there is something else that I wanted to point out, because I don't think it's been captured in the briefing. I wish the district court would have gone a little bit farther with this, because I think there's a really important point, which is the point at which Officer Kohler instructs Andy to get out of the car and then steps into the door frame. Because at that point, I want to know what exactly Andy could have done that Officer Kohler would not have claimed justified force. If Andy had moved toward him in compliance with his purported command, and I don't think it's a command at all, but if Andy had moved toward him, Andy would be accused of reaching, lunging, right? If Andy moves away from him, which is what happened, and by the way, Andy has his hands in the air in response to that, again, clearly submitting to authority. I think a reasonable jury could find there is no passive resistance here. Andy is faced with an angry officer who uses obscenities against him, who repeatedly makes false accusations that he's anti-police. And Andy is in an impossible situation where there's no direction he can move without potentially being accused of a crime. That is and what a reasonable jury can say is Officer Kohler had 7 years of experience, 7 years of doing traffic stops. What he's doing when he steps into that door frame is creating a situation where he can charge the person with resisting arrest no matter what happens. And you can see in that video, and a reasonable jury will see in that video, that Andy knows he's in an impossible situation, and he doesn't know what to do because he's faced with an angry, aggressive officer. And Andy describes him. One of the problems with body camera video, I think, is it doesn't show what the officer looks like. It doesn't show how they are behaving. And I think a reasonable jury can say, the video, I think, allows us to say, you know what? These guys were on notice. This isn't even a qualified immunity situation. We can look at this video and say, you know what? Maybe a reasonable jury can say, Officer Kohler should not be a police officer. He should not be entitled to qualified immunity. This is the kind of malicious or incompetent action where I think that might apply. I don't think this court needs to find that. I think this court can rely on what the district court.
The Supreme Court lets us reach out and say, well, this guy's acting so bad that we're dismissing this whole area of the law. So I'm hearing your jury argument now. You're both practicing for what might have come, but I'm not sure that helps us.
I don't think it helps you but I think that the district court's analysis is accurate. The district court's analysis is correct. It identified a robust set of cases which stand for the proposition that failure to immediately and completely comply with a purported police command, it does not justify significant force. And the significance of the force here is body slammed onto concrete. Andy is very lucky, Officer Kohler is very lucky that his injuries are only what they are. That could have been deadly force. That could have been a spinal injury. It was a significant degree of force that's shown in that video. I'm getting a little off the track there, but the authority really is robust. And I think what this court can rely on is that it has a history in cases in all different contexts. There's Coles v. Eagle, and there is Rice v. Morehouse, which was a 2011 occurrence that both apply to this situation. But outside of that context, the Ninth Circuit has repeatedly asserted this principle, that you cannot use significant force against people who are at most passively resisting. I'm almost out of time, and what I will submit to the court is that looking at this from the perspective of how a reasonable jury could, they could find that Andy was not resisting, violently and aggressively place him in an impossible situation, and he did what any citizen would. He put his hands in the air and tried to avoid being hurt. Thank you.
Your Honors, there were a lot of questions about the other times that Mr. Dominguez was reaching around in the car. Reaching and fiddling and looking for things is a whole scale different from this. Whole scale difference. Where's the case? Where's the case that says that Officer Kohler cannot step in that door frame? Where's the case that says...
Well, if he steps in the door frame, how is not getting out of the car resisting?
It's passive.
It's a physical question, not a legal question.
It's passive resistance. Mr. Dominguez...
Stop. If you cannot open the door to exit, how is not getting out passive resistance? It's not physically possible to exit if the officer is standing in front of the door. That's the argument being made. I don't know if that's true or not. The video doesn't necessarily contradict that. And so I put it to you. He's arguing, jury could say there's no resistance at all because the problem is that your client decided to stand in front of the door.
Where's the case that says where the officer can stand?
No. It's not a case. It's a fact.
Well, Your Honor...
Your premise is that Dominguez is resisting. The resisting is because he's not getting out of the car. But if he physically can't get out of the car because your client's standing there, where's the resistance?
I think
if there's no resistance, there are lots of cases saying that application of this force is not eligible for qualified immunity.
The video clearly shows, Your Honor, that Officer Kohler, when they're having the conversation, Mr. Dominguez says, you better lose your attitude. Officer Kohler opens the door and says, I need you to step out of the car.
Why does he say that? I mean, if you want to go to the attitude, it's because your client has been dumping on him from the get-go. So to say all of this is built upon Mr. Dominguez responding in some fashion to the flame that your client has lit, that's not very persuasive, and it again requires us to accept your version of the facts. So if you tell me that the jury has to reach a certain conclusion because at some point Dominguez says, you're the one that's showing attitude, okay, that case has to go to trial.
What this court must look at is the moment immediately prior to the use of force. Graham says reasonableness at the moment. At the moment the force was used, would an objective officer have responded with force? And at the moment force was used, the immediate moment preceding that was the reach. After that, it was active resistance.
Look at the district court on that, trying to detail the facts, recognizing what both sides say. According to the district court's decision at ER 8, Dominguez puts his hands in the air, holding his license and insurance in hand, and told Kohler, "Do not touch me." Kohler then moved closer and told Dominguez, "Get out of the car or I'm going to rip you out of the car." At the same time, Dominguez repeated, "Do not touch me," and reached for the phone on the passenger seat. Now, if you take that and your client is saying, "Or I'm going to rip you out of the car," that seems to precede, or at least at the same time, that the reach that you're so much depending upon occurs. But Dominguez's reach comes after, it appears, or could come after, according to what the jury might find, after your client says, "Or I'm going to rip you out of the car." Now, who exactly has initiated that problem? Who has injected force into this?
The officer has a right and a duty to exercise unquestioned command of the situation.
Because before he says that, that's before the reach. If you're depending upon the reach to justify the use of force, your client says, "Or I'm going to rip you out of the car," before that reach takes place. So,
but there's no force used. Ultimately, there's no force used until the reach happens.
All right. Thank you, Counselor. The case
Thank you,
just
Judge.
argued will be submitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Lori Davis. May it please the court.
All right. What'd you think about that? Pretty wise judges, aren't they? They saw through a obvious case, correct? And they asked some tough questions. How do you think they're going to come? Are they going to go up or down? Are the judges going to say we agree with the lower court? Or are we going to go our rogue and say, no, qualified immunity stays? And the cop who body slammed him isn't guilty, can't be guilty, because he's protected. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. They did see the video. They watched the video. They saw the video. And I want to say, hey, Oregon Road, good to see you. Nat, I hear something. I heard something through the grapevine that you turned 22 today. No. They lose. You think that the cops lose? Who else came in here and I didn't see? It was Oregon Rogue and Nat. Cops are going to lose. Do you think that they're going to lose? I mean, close. They asked the judges were really smart. I think it's going to be like 80 in favor to 20 against, just because the bitch on the court. And she seemed like she was all right. Okay? She one over here. I mean, she asked some really good questions. So I'm going to give it maybe 85-15. 85 for the victim, 15 for the cops. Qualified immunity gone. Everybody's saying qualified immunity. No. And you hope the cops were suspended and or fired? Oh, wait, we started off this whole entire thing at PP13 watching the video. Horrific. And now we came to the law library, where we saw after trial. Or, I'm sorry, maybe the lawsuit. I think it's a lawsuit. I'm not sure what happened at trial. I don't know what he was charged with. I don't know any of that. I'm not that caught up on that situation. All I know is that a lower court, and I'm thinking it's a criminal court, maybe it's a civil court. I'm not sure. Fell in favor of the victim, the innocent driver. And let me say about Pennsylvania versus Mims. Pennsylvania versus Mims is the Terry stop of cars, automobile, transportation. If a reasonable cop feels that you have a weapon in the car, he can remove you and your passenger. Just like he could reach into your pockets with Terry. I'm sorry, pat you down with Terry. That's it. Pat you down. Oh, geez, what am I thinking? I'm thinking removal, which is much more intrusive when you remove somebody out of a vehicle than just patting them down in Terry. That's the distinction. And I would argue that somehow, some way, if I was a lawyer, that Mims is so much more severely intrusive than just a general pat down in Terry. But who am I? Yeah, Matt went, phew. Tugga, what are you saying? They can only pat you down, you stupid fucker. Don't you ever read Terry? Didn't you ever read it? No. District Court. Right. Thank you, John D. Nicola. Okay, so what happened? What did they decide? But first, Matt, I hear something through the grapevine. Or 21. Now, gonna turn that down and turn this volume up, right? Let me get warmed up, Nat. We're all gonna sing happy birthday. You people are gonna sing happy birthday. And I'm gonna be the instrumentation behind it. All right, Nat? Oh, my dinger. All right. A little bit bent and out of shape there, folks. All right. Nat, happy birthday. And many more. There you go, Nat. Happy birthday. Go out and drink a beer at the bar now that you legally can do it, instead of just giving your fake ID to get into the bar. You can actually give your legal ID at the bar when you order your beer now, Nat. Yes, Howard Clegg, I play the tuba. Did you know that? How did you know that? Well, worst trombone I've ever heard. Well, it wasn't a trombone. And I'm out of practice. I haven't listened to a tune and played at the same time for a long time. Plus, I don't have my boys, the Bakelite boys, to cover my horrible jug playing. All right. So, that's the first time I've ever done that for somebody. Well, I've done it live with the Bakelite boys and done happy birthday. But it was a different kind of tune the Bakelite boys did. Well, that's good to hear, Nat. You had to cancel Turkey Day because of your illness, but hopefully that jug playing and singing and frolicking about you has helped you feel better. All right. So, can we take a break? Take a quick break and take a quick break. And I will be back in just a few moments. All right, and when I get back, when I get back, we will find out what they decided, these judges right here. This panel of judges, we're going to find out what they decided whenever we come back, okay? Back to the grow room. If you want to go back to the grow room, we can. If you really want to go back to the grow room, we can. Pick up another supply. Okay, pick up another supply real quick. Hey, Puff. Okay, we'll reach over here and grab one right here. Woo! All right, let's get out of here. Let's go back to the law library. There you go. I threw it to you. I threw it to you, Jack. And take a little break. That looked like I reached for something, but I was throwing that little bud that I just picked in the horticulture room. The jack off Jack. He got it. He caught it. You know, it's great to be here with you again. This is what I originally started to do, is the law library and nitpicking videos and going to the law library and figuring out the case law to it. This is where I'm strong. This is where I'm strongest. McDowell County, West Virginia. This is where I excel. McDowell County, West Virginia, in the legal context, and then arguing, litigating, cross-examining. I love the cross-examination. That's a really good thing to do, the cross-examination. You can glean a lot of information from a stupid cop in cross-examination, counselor. Yeah, where is Randy and Ellie? I was talking to Ellie yesterday, and then she hung up on me. I was in a StreamYard, a private StreamYard. What happened? What happened with these guys right here? Okay. Huh. We got to wait for Nat to get back in here. Nat? She hangs out close to the bathroom. So we got to wait for her. Get back in there. Nat, are you in there? All right, Nat's back. I'm back. Creole's back. Howard Clegg is back. Jack's been here. Creole? John D. Nicola? All right, I needed that break because we're going to do some reading. Andres Dominguez. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. Versus City of Scottsdale, Arizona et al. And all. All right. This is in the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. This happened on, argued and submitted March 7th, 2023. Let me get off camera here. course, the City of Scottsdale police officer Daniel Kohler and Nicholas McEllie appeared. The district court denied of summary judgment on their qualified immunity defense to Mr. Dominguez. Okay, summary judgment on their qualified immunity defense. The City of Scottsdale appealed the district courts. Okay, it was a civil case. Denial of summary judgment on Dominguez's state law negligent supervision. Listen, see this right here. Looky right here. The City of Scottsdale appeals the district court's denial of summary judgment for qualified immunity on Dominguez's state law negligent supervision and training claims against McDowell County. It ain't really McDowell County, it's state troopers of West Virginia. Training anybody? Remember the motions I filed, you guys down there in McDowell County, about the lack of training from the head of the state troopers in West Virginia? Remember that, guys. I'm sure my trial's coming up soon. I just haven't gotten notice yet. But this applies to my case in McDowell County in a certain way. Oh, there I go again. Handing down on the wrong one. Stay in Justy right here. We affirm in part and dismiss in part, just like they always like to do. We have jurisdiction over the officer's interlocutory appeal under 28 U.S. 1291 and the collateral order doctrine. Our jurisdiction is limited to legal issues, not factual disputes. Where disputed facts exist, we assume that the version of the material facts asserted by the non-moving party is correct. We can decide only whether, viewing the evidence and facts in the light most favorable to Dominguez, the non-moving plaintiff, the officer, one, violated a Fourth Amendment right that was, number two, was clearly established at the time of the violation, clearly established. To decide those questions, we exercise de novo review. Facts, when construed in Dominguez's favor, show that the officers violated Dominguez's Fourth Amendment rights. An officer's use of force is constitutional only if the government interest at stake justifies, quote, the nature and quality of the intrusion on the individual's Fourth Amendment interests. Graham v. Conner. Whether the government's interests justify the use of force depends on many factors, including the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officer or others, and whether the suspect is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest. The most important factor is whether the individual posed an immediate threat to the officers or public safety. You notice how the officers come first? Construing the facts in Dominguez's favor, the government's interests here did not justify the amount of force the officers used. First, Dominguez's low-level traffic offense did not warrant the significant force used by the officers. Of course it didn't. Although it is undisputed that Dominguez made a right turn and later a U-turn while Officer Kohler was following him, and that he crossed lines multiple times, traffic violations are rarely justify rarely justify use of force. Young's failure to wear a seatbelt was a run-of-the-mill traffic violation that clearly provided little, if any, support for the use of force upon him. That's a Ninth Circuit Court holding. Ninth Circuit Court holding that traffic violations generally will not support the use of significant level of force. The record also shows that Dominguez told the officers he did not have the time for this. That's it. I don't have time for this. I got 2 jobs. My TV broke. I just went down to my I just went down to my shelter or my daggum storage garage to get my. That's why I got all the shit in the back. I don't got time for this. Give me the ticket. Okay. The record also shows that Dominguez told officers he did not have time for this and said to them, "You better lose your attitude," quote, unquote. Okay? However, even when certain conduct may be a chargeable offense, quote, chargeable offense, it militates against finding the force used that it should be militates. I don't understand that word. I've never seen that word before. Militates. I don't does anybody know what militates mean? See, this is the first time I'm reading this. I got stumped for a word, a big word. Oh. Okay. Militates. Be a powerful or conclusive factor in preventing. Okay? Against finding the force used to effect an arrest reasonable where the suspect was also nonviolent and posed no threat to the safety of the officers or others. Militates. Maybe it's militates. Interesting. Second, looking at the fact in the light most favorable to Dominguez, it was not objectively reasonable for the officer to believe that Dominguez posed an immediate threat to them or the public safety. Dominguez immediately stopped his car, provided his documents when asked, and answered Officer Kohler's question. During that exchange, Officer McKelly shone a flashlight into Dominguez's car, illuminating the inside of the car for the officers to see. When Officer Kohler asked Dominguez if there were any knives or guns in the car, Dominguez answered clearly that there were not. The officer argued that, from their perspective, Dominguez reached into the passenger seat in a threatening manner, immediately preceding the first application of force. However, a simple statement by an officer that he fears for his safety or the safety of others is not enough. There must be objective factors to justify such a concern. And construing the facts in the light most favorable to Dominguez, as we must, the body camera video footage present at least a genuine issue for a trier of facts regarding how threatening his reach was. Moreover, even if the officer perceived Dominguez's movements inside the car as threatening, the officers do not point to evidence that supports the claim that Dominguez posed any objectively reasonable, not your feelings, that you felt in danger. You felt in danger. That's feelings. So I would argue that also if I was a lawyer. Fear is an emotion. So if you fear for your life as a police officer first, then how can you do your duty second? Because it's not objective. It's subjective. Because you're basing your job performance and what you do and how you interact with fear. Objectiveness. Big time in legalese. Objective. Reasonableness. Objectiveness. Experienced. They all come to play. Threat once, reasonable threat once he was outside the car, okay? He posed no objectively reasonable threat once he was outside the car, at which point a jury could find from the video that Officer Kohler used excessive force when he body slammed Dominguez into the ground head first and continued to apply force to his legs. Finally, Dominguez was not actively resisting or evading arrest when Officer Kohler began to use force. Dominguez largely complied with the officer's orders, and he did not resist or fight them while he was in the car or on the ground. This would be true even if Dominguez had failed to comply with the officer's orders or delayed exiting the car. Right. Either or. It's a catch-22. He was fucked if he did, and he's definitely fucked if he didn't get out of that car. If he stepped out towards the officer who was blocking his exit, Randolph County, then you would have charged him with attacking you. But he happened to go like this in his car. So you said he was resisting you. He was fucked if he did, and he was fucked if he didn't. He chose this, passive, instead of coming out of there fighting. Then you picked him up and you turned him upside down and you body slammed him. Power drive style. Boy, you were really inferior to your life, dickhead. Okay. Active. Okay. Yes. Even if he failed to do what the officers told him. Active resistance is not to be found simply because of a failure to comply with the full extent of an officer's orders. To comply with the command to remain in his vehicle does not constitute active resistance. Failure to comply with the command to remain in his vehicle does not constitute active resistance. Thus, balancing the government's interest against the nature and quality of the intrusion, a jury could conclude that the officer's force was not justified. Dominguez's constitutional rights against this use of force was also clearly established. Of course it was. Relevant case law made clear at the time of the officer's conduct that using substantial force against an individual not engaged in an activity, resistance violates the Fourth Amendment. The right to be free from the application of a non-trivial force for engaging in mere passive resistance was clearly established prior to 2008. A reasonable jury might conclude that the video that there was nothing Dominguez could have done to comply with the Officer Kohler's order to exit the vehicle because Officer Kohler was blocking the way by standing in the driver's side doorway. Alan Mott Smith, good to see you. Holding that a reasonable officer would have known. prior to 2004 that using substantial force against non-threatening individuals who had committed at most a minor to misdemeanor violated the Fourth Amendment. Okay? So, holding that the use of significant force against a passive driver violated a clearly established right. There's the case law. Holding that it was clearly established that grabbing a passive individual by the arm, throwing them to the ground, twisting their arm, and handcuffing them violated the Fourth Amendment. There's the case law. Holding that the law clearly established that officers used excessive force by punching a passive individual several times, kneeing them, using hobbling restraints, and pressing their face into the ground was clearly established when they did this to this man. Power-driven into the ground. We thus affirm that the district court's denial of summary judgment on the officer's qualified immunity defense. Correct. They agree. Bravo. Dun, 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 okay. We lack jurisdiction over the city's interlocutory appeal of the district court's denial of summary judgment on Dominguez's state law negligent supervision and training claim. The city asked the court to exercise pending appellate jurisdiction to review this otherwise non-appealable ruling. This court exercises prudent appellate jurisdiction only if the issues are A, so intertwined that the court must decide the patent issues in order to review the claims properly raised on interlocutory appeal, or resolution of the issue properly raised on interlocutory appeal necessarily resolves the pending issue. We interpret this standard narrowly and apply extreme limited circumstances. So you know what, government? We ain't going to help you out there either. We are not going to help you out any further. We're not going to fucking be your cheerleaders or do any kind of fucking agreeing with your side. See, what the prosecution wants, or not the prosecution, the defense wants, because they are the ones defending. What they want is this court to enjoin, kind of, their side, going against the lower court. And this court's like, well, no, I don't think so. And that's bravo. Bravo. Dominguez's negligent supervision and training claim stands independently against the city, regardless of the officer's 1983 liability. We lack jurisdiction over the city's appeal there. So guess what you're going to do? The defendant shall bear the cost of the appeal. So the cops have to fucking do it. They have to pay out of their own pocket. The government cannot provide them any more lawyers. I don't think. Now, the union might want to help. I mean, they do pay union dues and all, right? Yeah. So, what is this all about? Shall I show you again?
Get it.
I
Okay.
gotta get changed because I got another job in Phoenix.
Okay.
My head.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Where you headed?
Where am I headed?
Yeah.
I live in Tempe.
You live in Tempe?
Yeah,
Cool,
I got
man.
a job over here at on Scottsdale and Camelback. No, it's not where I'm going. I'm going home.
Okay.
I gotta get changed because I got another job in Phoenix.
Okay.
What did I break a law?
You live in Tempe?
I live in Tempe.
Okay. What's with the attitude, man?
I'm in a hurry, and I don't know. I don't break. I'm a very, very cautious, good driver.
Okay.
I saw you when I made my U-turn.
Right.
I know I didn't break any laws, so I'm curious of why
you know that you didn't break any laws? So are you saying that I'm violating your rights right now?
I haven't had a traffic ticket in a very long time. I'm a very good driver.
Okay.
So what's up?
Do you just not like the police or what?
Look, sir, I don't have time for this. I have to go home. I have to get changed. I have a shift that starts at 8 o'clock.
Well, that's going to take you longer if you keep the attitude.
Well, I don't have an attitude. Do you want to tell me what you need?
Yeah, I need your license, registration, proof of insurance. I also need to know if there's any guns or knives in the car.
I don't have any guns. I'm an armed guard, but I don't have my gun with me.
Okay.
I'm a security guard. There's some condominiums right behind there. It's called.
Is that where you do security?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I had a key fob. And I took it last night. I took it home.
Okay.
I did a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift, and I went home with it, and I was so tired. And I had to go to Phoenix because my TV broke, so I had to go to my storage.
Okay.
And I had to unload all my stuff in there, and I got my stuff over here. So you see, I had to take it back over here. So.
Okay.
The car's registered under my mom's name.
Okay.
And so.
So you're a security guard, but you have an attitude towards the police, but you have this almost the same job as we do.
You better lose your attitude, okay?
Okay.
I don't even
Go ahead and step out of the car.
You don't have a right to open.
Go ahead and step out of the car.
This is private property.
Go ahead and step out.
Do not touch me.
Get out of the car.
Do not touch me.
Get out of the car. I'm going to rip you out of the car.
Do not touch me. Hey!
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right now.
I haven't done anything.
Get out. Are you serious?
Get out of the car.
I haven't done anything.
Get out of the car right now. I'm going to hurt you if you don't get out of the car right now. What the f*** are you doing? Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right now.
You're kidding me. Oh my God.
Get on the ground right now.
I'm not doing anything.
Get on the ground right now.
I'm not doing anything.
Get out of the ground. Get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't fight. I got the insurance right here.
Stop.
I didn't do anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't fight. I got the insurance. I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't. I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us. Get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground.
The record's skipping. I'm sorry.
That is not cool, brother. Get on the ground.
I'm sorry, but the record keeps on skipping. Can somebody?
Hey.
Get on the ground right now.
Can somebody please hit that? Can somebody please hit that? Video right there, so it stops skipping.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't fight. I got the insurance right here.
Stop fighting. Stop resisting right now. Stop resisting.
You're hurting me. I don't got nothing in my hand.
I'm going to tase you.
Don't tase me.
Stop resisting.
Don't. I don't have any weapons.
Stop
I don't have
resisting.
anything. Ow! Ow!
Stop resisting,
Ow!
man.
Ow! Ow! Help! Help!
Stop resisting.
Help! Help! Help!
Stop resisting.
Help! Help! Help!
Put your hands behind your back.
Help! Help! You're hurting me!
Stop resisting, man.
You're hurting me! Help
Put your hands behind your back.
Help me!
Got blood.
Help me! Help me! Help! Help! Help me! Help me!
Stop. Release your hands.
Help! I'm not doing
Stop
anything!
resisting.
I didn't do anything! You attacked me!
Stop resisting right now.
You attacked me!
Calm down.
You attacked me! That hurts! You're hurting my ankles! You're on my legs! Help me!
Calm down.
Help me! You're hurting me! Please stop hurting me! You're hurting my legs! You're hurting my legs! Please stop hurting me!
4035, we have one detained.
Stop hurting me!
Roll fire for
Please stop hurting me!
face laceration, and you can unrestrict.
Please stop hurting me!
Why are you fighting with me?
Ow! Ow! He's hurting my
Okay, roll
ankle!
him over.
You're hurting my ankles.
Stop. You stop yelling. Stop kicking him.
Oh my God. I cannot believe you did this to me. I live in Tempe.
You were fighting with me, bro.
No one's I'm in my car. Who's fighting?
You wouldn't get out when I asked you to.
You don't have a reason to take me out of my car.
And you said you usually carry a gun with you. You started.
You're
reaching
lying.
around.
I didn't say. I said I am a security guard.
That's an armed security guard.
No, I said I do own it. You said, do you have a weapon? I said I do own a gun.
You won't get out of the car and you're reaching around.
Sir, I'm not getting. No. You're wrong.
My safety's
You're lying.
number one, man.
You're lying. I hope you have your video camera on.
It is.
I'm going to charge you.
My safety.
Please don't hurt my ankle, sir.
4035. We're update location Scottsdale, Maine.
Please, sir, don't hurt my ankle.
No one's hurting your ankles. You're
putting pressure on my
okay,
ankles.
I'm gonna release it. Are you gonna keep on fighting?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Help me! Help!
You good? Yeah. What's up, man?
What's up?
Where you headed?
Where am I headed?
Yeah.
I live in.
All right. That's what we just got done reading about that case right there. Okay, well, let's slide this over here. Need that again. That's what we read right there. The cops do not get qualified immunity, McDowell County, or state of West Virginia. Troopers. I mean, I didn't have excessive force per se. Anytime you're handcuffed, it's excessive in these cases, regardless if you're suplexed or not. These cops need to realize that there are other ways to handle pulling somebody over and trying to take money from them. You don't have to suplex them to get their money. You just have to listen to them yap every once in a while. Call you a pig and a motherfucker and a cocksucker, right? That's all you have to do. You don't have to body slam anybody. You don't have to break anybody's leg off. What? Break anybody's leg off? Who said that? I got to look up that one when I'm done. So what happened? The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals said no qualified immunity. So what happened? What happened? Can anybody tell me what happened? Well, let's see. City Council report. City of Scottsdale, Arizona. Let me get off the camera. Let's read. The first time I've read this. I don't know what it's going to say, just like the case law. I didn't read it before. You're getting a reaction video. All right. Adopt resolution number 12874, authorizing agreement with Mr. Dominguez in the amount of $1,150,000. Holy shit! Did that 150 million? Did you get that right? Did I get it right? There's too many zeros for me to understand. I'm a stupid guy when it comes to math. Did anybody read 150 million? What did I see? It's behind that fat body of yours, Tugga. Let me see it again. $150,000 to settle Andre Dominguez versus City of Scottsdale. Congratulations. Bravo. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom, boom. You know, good for you. All right, I didn't know this. I know the case, but I didn't really put it all together until this. Well, I didn't put it together. Somebody else did. Somebody else needs to take credit for it, and I forget where I saw it. But, you know, they're getting paid for it anyhow. Okay, they settled. Let's see how. Why? Background. This lawsuit stems from the arrest of plaintiff on or about January 9, 2020. The plaintiff alleges that he was wrongfully stopped and arrested by officers of the Scottsdale Police Department. plaintiff filed a lawsuit against the city and its employees in the United States District Court, and that's the one that they won, alleging federal constitutional violations and various state law claims. The following amount of litigation, the parties, following months of litigation, the parties participated in mediation. We love mediation, and reached a proposed settlement of $150,000, contingent upon approval of the city council. The proposed settlement would resolve the entirety of the lawsuit, including all related attorney's fees and costs, which mean about $8 million for the lawyers. He gets 150, they get $8 million. And I'm not lying there, I'm sure. Right? The city staff is recommending that the city council approve this settlement because the cost, uncertainty, and risk of going to trial in this case outweigh the amount of the negotiated settlement. Yes. So we didn't do anything wrong. It's going to cost too much. Like they give a fuck about cost. It's going to cost us too much. No, they don't care. They don't want it set in stone. They don't want it to go all the way to the end and then to be settled for once and all. They want to keep doing their dirty little fucking progressive legal precedent-setting fucking charade here. Can never be anything definite. So just dangle a little bit of carrots in front of them, and they'll pluck them. Okay. I mean, I'm not blaming Mr. Dominguez here. Not blaming him at all. Okay, let's see what else they said. Community involvement, no community involvement. Resources impact. The proposed settlement will require a total payment of $150,000 from the city of city to Andres Dominguez and his attorneys. Okay, it is only $150,000 total. So, what? 70-30, maybe? I don't know. Funds are available in the city's safety and risk management operating budget to pay the settlement, of course. That a nice fund to have. Just for these kinds of cases. The city's safety and risk management. Was this a safety issue? Risk issue? Is this what you're talking about? People's rights? I mean, that's a kind of a funny thing to be taking money out of, right? Risk management operating budget. It sounds like a slush fund to me. Hey, Joe, what are we going to call this fund? Oh, call it something nice like the City Safety and Risk Management Operating Budget. Oh, that's beautiful. The people will love that name. Staffing workload impacted. Oh, the government is going to be impacted. Approval of the proposed settlement brings this claim to a conclusion and will eliminate the need for staff. Resources from the city attorney's office. Oh, we're going to go back to fucking violating rules and procedures and being nefarious at the prosecutor's office, city attorney's office. We're going to be free to continue to violate laws and rights. And thank you, Safety and Risk Management Department. Thank you. And the police department to be spent in this case. Now we have the resources again to buy tanks and armored vests and bazookas and shotguns. I mean, we got bazookas, don't you? Watch out, duck. Duck. Sure you do. That one blew me up. All right. Future budget implications. The proposed settlement of $150,000 may be included in the city's primary property tax rate for next year. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at him go. Ladies and gentlemen, we violated this man's rights, so you gotta fucking pay for it. You know, it's kind of like Marine Corps style. When Private Pile fucks up, you all fuck up. You bootlickers. So your hero fucked up. So guess what? You're all doing push-ups until your arms drop off. Great. Give us your money, you property owners. Everybody that doesn't own property will probably pay for it in other ways. Hidden taxes, other things, services. This is how it works. Right here. Keep on voting for them fuckers. Okay. The tax rate's going to be increased. The city at the council's discretion. The eligibility of settlement and judgment payments for possible inclusion in the city's primary property tax rate is based upon an Arizona Attorney General's opinion. Of course, the Attorney General's going to agree. Raise their fucking taxes. And by the way, do you have a little bit of fucking money for Israel and Hamas and the Ukraine? Germany. Germany's doing real bad. Give them money. Putin, Uzbekistan, Iraq. Just give them money. Can we just give us money? I mean, we need more money for everybody. Just tax your citizens, Scottsdale. And since your fucking public officials want to spend all this money just by raising taxes, why don't you fund Ukraine? Scottsdale, Arizona, by yourself. Just impose a tax on them. Fucking leeches, man. Fucking leeches. Options and staff recommendations. Adopt resolution, yes. Proposed next steps. If the settlement is approved, the city will execute settlement documents as proposed. Okay. There it is. Risk manager. Staff contacts. Sherry R. Scott, city attorney. There is her link. Don't give her a fucking email. I would not give that person an email if my life depended on it. Right there. I would never, ever send that motherfucker an email, ever. They're too busy taking care of public business. Don't bother these two. And you know what? This guy over here. Do not, George Woods. George. Hey, George. Do not contact George. He does not have a good temperament, as I understand. Plus, he's too busy with safety and risk management. He's probably out in some fucking safety and risk management seminar somewhere. Yeah. We would never want to contact these sluts. Ever, ever. Because they're way too busy. Okay, here we go. Brought a lawsuit against blah, 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 blah. City, yeah, same, 150,000 paid. Passed and adopted by the city of Scottsdale, Arizona. Cha-ching. A drop in the bucket. Frickin' media. Good to see you, brother. talking about a lawsuit that was won in Scottsdale, Arizona. I don't know if you've been watching freaking media, but I'm going to play it one more time because it's so good. Freaking media. Are you a fan of the WWE? The old WWF? Studio wrestling? You're an old guy. Do you remember studio wrestling, freaking media? Used to be? You say you used to be liking like Bruno St. Martino? Andre the Giant? George the Animal Steel? Jimmy the Superfly Snooker? You don't remember them guys? Freaking media? The Iron Sheik? You don't remember the Iron Sheik? Well, this is one of them wrestlers' great grandson. Let's play it again.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Where you headed?
Where am I headed?
Yeah.
I live in Tempe.
You live in Tempe?
Yeah,
Cool,
I got
man.
a job over here at on Scottsdale and Camelback. No, it's not where I'm going. I'm going home.
Okay.
I gotta get changed since I got another job in Phoenix.
Okay.
Did I break a law?
You live in Tempe?
I live in Tempe.
Okay. What's with the attitude, man?
I'm in a hurry, and I don't know. I don't break. I'm a very, very cautious, good driver.
Okay.
I saw you when I made my U-turn.
Right.
I know I didn't break any laws, so I'm curious of why
you know that you didn't break any laws? So are you saying that I'm violating your rights right now?
I haven't had a traffic ticket in a very long time.
Okay.
I'm a very good driver.
Okay.
So what's
So
up?
do you just not like the police or what?
Look, sir, I don't have time for this. I have to go home. I have to get changed. I have a shift that starts at 8 o'clock.
Well, that's going to take you longer if you keep the attitude.
Well, I don't have an attitude. Do you want to tell me what you need?
Yeah, I need your license, registration, proof of insurance. I also need to know if there's any guns or knives in the
I
car.
don't have any guns. I'm an armed guard, but I don't have my gun with me.
Okay.
I'm
Is that-
a security guard. There's some condominiums right behind there. It's called
Is that where you do security?
yeah. So
Okay.
I had a key fob. And I took it last night. I took it home.
Okay.
I did a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift, and I went home with it, and I was so tired, and I had to go to Phoenix because my TV broke, so I had to go to my storage.
Okay.
And I had to unload all my stuff in there, and I got my stuff over here. So you see, I had to take it back over here. So
Okay.
the car's registered under my mom's name,
Okay.
and so.
So you're a security guard, but you have an attitude towards the police, but you have this
I don't know
almost
what
the
you're
same
talking
job
about
as we
attitude.
do.
You better lose your attitude, okay?
Okay.
I don't even.
Go ahead and
know
step out of the car.
You don't have a right to open.
Go
up
ahead
the
and
door.
step out of the car.
This is private property.
Go ahead and step
Do
out.
not touch me.
Get out of the car.
Do not touch me.
Get out of the car.
Do
I'm
not
gonna rip
touch
you out of the car.
Do not touch me. Hey!
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right
I
now.
haven't done anything.
Get out. Are you serious?
Get out of the car.
I haven't done anything.
Get out of the car right now. I'm gonna hurt you if you don't get out of the car right now. What the f*** are you doing? Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car right now.
Kidding me? Oh my God!
Get on the ground right now.
I'm not doing anything.
Get on the ground right
I'm not
now.
doing anything.
Get out of the ground. Get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not
my
cool,
goodness
brother.
gracious.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
What was that?
I
Hogan?
haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't
You're
fight.
fighting with us.
I got the insurance. I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now.
That
That is
damn
not cool, brother.
fucking
You're fighting
video's
with us.
on
I didn't-
freaking lock again. It keeps on
I
repeating.
haven't done anything.
Can somebody bump the machine?
That is not cool, brother. You're
The
fighting.
video is
I
skipping.
didn't fight. I got the insurance right here.
Stop fighting. Stop resisting right now.
I'm the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting.
Yes.
Get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
I haven't done anything.
Hey.
Get on the ground right now. That is not cool, brother. You're fighting with us.
I didn't fight. I got the insurance
Impressive.
right here.
Stop
Hey.
fighting. Stop resisting right now. Stop resisting.
You hurting me. I didn't
Yes.
have my hand.
You go, brother.
Don't tase me.
Stop resisting.
Dude, I don't have any weapons.
Stop
I don't have
resisting.
anything. Ow! Ow!
Stop resisting,
Ow!
man.
Ow! Ow!
Release help!
Help!
Stop resisting!
Help! Help! Help!
Stop resisting!
Help! Help! Help!
Put your hands behind your back.
Help! Help! You're hurting me!
Stop resisting,
Help!
man.
You're hurting me! Help
Put your hands behind your
me!
back.
Help
Got
me!
blood.
Help
Heavy.
me! Help me! Help! Help! Help me! Help me!
Stop. Release your hands.
Help! I'm not doing
Stop
anything!
resisting.
I didn't do anything! You attacked me!
Stop resisting right now.
You attacked me!
Calm down.
You attacked me! That hurts! They're hurting my ankles! You're on my legs! Help me!
Calm down.
Help me!
35.
You're hurting me! Please stop hurting me! You're hurting my legs! You're hurting my legs! Please stop hurting me!
4035.
Please.
We have one detained.
Stop hurting me!
Roll fire for
Please stop hurting me!
face laceration, and you can unrestrict.
Please stop hurting me!
Why?
Chief J would be pressed, right? Yes, the chief. Chief J Strongbow, I think his name was. Yes. Great wrestle move. Ooh. Well, what happened? That's what we were just discussing. Freaking media. But you were late. You were delinquent. You were not paying any attention whatsoever. We went through the Ninth Circuit Court. The live video of the judges asking the government really tough questions about qualified immunity. Where were you, freaking media? We already went through the judges looking at the little boopy, the cop fucking defense attorney saying, but officer safety, and the judges saying, fuck your officer safety. But no, freaking media is too busy to come early. He has to come whenever I have to explain it real quick. Well, the council approved $150 million. $150 million. Yeah? A little bit of misinformation, you said? No. Figures and numbers I'm not getting good with. I don't know what that dash in between the 50-00 or the dot. I'm not sure what the dot is either. But I'm figuring 150 with all them zeros behind it has got to be 150 million. That's what I'm figuring. How you doing, Brent? All right. So Scottsdale, Arizona is going to tax the property owners an equivalent of $150 million. And they're going to take the money out of the risk management budget. The director's going to be pinching pennies for the next 2-3 days. Everybody in government is going to have to suffer, they're saying here. Oh, the woes of government. The city council report. Background, analysis and assessment. And look, the resources that are going to be impacted, staffing, work, lawyers are going to get back to work, not have to spend as much money on this case. It's best to settle it, if you know what I mean, freaking media. Since you're late, and I have to review everything quickly for you, thank goodness you're a smart guy. And you can contemplate it. Real quick. Speed reader, if you would. That's the decision by the judges. And that's what the show was about tonight. So here we go. We're going to get out of the law library, even though I don't like to. Sometimes I just come here just to read some ancient Mesopotamian law. My life is enthralling down here in the bunkhole. I could go into many rooms and be entertained and be safe and secure from any intrusion. The NSA, they can't eavesdrop on me, no. FBI has no prying eyes on me. Local police don't know where I'm at. No asteroids, magnetic pole flips. No matter what happens on the earth, earthquakes, volcanoes, tidal waves, ice ages coming and going, I will be fine. You all will be fucked. Here we go. We are going back to the living room. This is always a nice tunnel to go through. And again, I have an issue. I have an issue with dancing squirrels.
Number 13, the Nicolite boys, now on death row. He only took 2 tires.
Anytime the Bakelite boys play, they come out. This, I think it's a family of dancing squirrels.
Where I cut my teeth on like sweet wine. Them race girls are on my mind.
I can't get rid of them.
Them race girls are
They just dance
Race
and
girls
dance
at
and
the
dance.
county line. Back of the pack and down the lap with no one on my six. If I'm going to grab that chicken flag, I've got to clear that mix. I slammed the pedal down to the middle and I found another gear. I rode the trap, flew right past the driver of the gear. I said, vroom, vroom, vroom. Lord, slide sideways, vroom, 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 and the crash bang boom.
Uh-oh. There's the fish mopping. You know what that means? That means it's the end of the show.
I cleared the pack and they never looked back.
Thank you very much, Brent. Oregon Road,
Like a lucky
Britain
dog
Media.
caught that caution flag.
Jack up, Jack Paget, you're
The
late.
track is clear and we got the green.
Paget, you're late.
I'll set a fire that
You like my
gasoline.
dancing squirrels?
Them race girls but cheering me on. A redhead brunette, dirty blonde. Race girls are mighty fine. Champagne at the finish line. Some do it for the trophy. Some
And
do
of
it
course,
for cash.
there's
We
the
do it for
dancing
racing
mouse.
girls, even if we crash.
Fucking rodent.
Our race days will bloom. Lord, don't let our race days go crash, bang, boom. I said,
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Lord, slide sideways. Vroom, 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 and the crash.
Yeah, go to bed, assholes. But they just dance all night long when the Bakelite boys come on. Squeeze that pig, right? There's a whole bunch of people in here tonight. Howard Clegg was in here, and
And a 6-gun on my side. My race days got
Nat, happy birthday, Nat. Happy birthday, Nat.
Our race
21.
days go crash,
You made it.
bang, boom. I said, boom, boom, boom.
Creole. Good night, Creole. If she hasn't already passed out on moonshine. Jerk up, jerk. I didn't mention you, did I? John D. Nicola. Oh, can't forget John D. Nicola. HPR News. Oink, oink. Is in here. The Angry Rooster and Sully. I didn't see them come in at all. But hey, I was in the middle of doing a show. Ohio Steve, yes, of course. How can I forget Ohio Steve? Tim Peden, catch that tire. All right, Joe Black and Robert Reap.
We love
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. And qualified immunity. It's dreamt up, made up, Supreme Court out of whole cloth fucking law. Immunity in general is completely the opposite of the stated intent of the Constitution. It sets you fuckers up above us. And I think the judges are starting to get it here in the Ninth Circuit. But shoo, animals, the Bake Light boys are done. Get out of here. Everybody except for the Mopping Fish. He always closes the show out. See ya. Ah.